All right, another spark, another building. Welcome back to the Forge. Today we're tackling something fundamental to tools and titans. It's energy, the lifeblood of your colossal champions. We're talking specifically about how tools and titans handle resources through its charge token and craft power system.
That's right. Many of you asked for a deeper dive into the Weave's Breath, as the lore calls it. How do charge tokens work? How does craft power dictate strategy? And what makes this system different from other TCGs? It's more than just mana. It's a core part of the game's myth-tech feel and strategic depth.
Exactly. So before we delve into the Weave's energy, let's cover the basics. For anyone new, or those wanting a refresher on how a turn unfolds.
So how do you play tools and titans? Easy.
Draw your cards,
Charge your energy.
build your field,
Act with your powers.
clash with your titans.
End your turn. 6 steps, 1 epic battle. Simple on the surface.
But charge your energy. That's our focus today. Let's start with charge tokens. The Weave's Breath is poetic. But in game terms, what are they?
That poetry is intentional. Creators say charge is the breath of titans, the power they draw from the weave. Unlike simple counters or a generic mana pool, charge tokens in T&T are often actual cards. They're drawn, played, and physically placed.
Cards, not just counters. I like that. So they're spent to play tools, structures, cast cards, and activate abilities?
Precisely. They're stored in the charge pool, Zone 7. Sometimes titans, capacitors, or completed tasks will generate these. It's all channeling weave energy.
How do these tokens function in gameplay mechanics? Let's break it down by phase.
Okay, the build phase. You're establishing your board. Charge is spent here to play tools or structures. A tool's craft power, or CP, is its charge cost. CP3 means 3 charge.
Makes sense.
Then the act phase. Charge there? The act phase is dynamic. Charge is crucial. You spend it to activate tool effects. Play cast cards and flux triggers might use charge.
And weave synergy? The elemental types?
Some weave cards, elemental cards, can generate or consume charge dynamically. A fire weave might grant charge, earth might store it efficiently, tied to elemental themes.
You mentioned tasks. How does charge affect task progression?
Certain tasks, objective cards with big rewards, require charge to advance them. Think of Power the Beacon. You channel energy into it. Also, some Titan Ascension triggers might require playing tools with specific charge costs.
Charge seems woven into almost everything. From a design view, why is this mechanic strong?
Several reasons. First, strategic pacing. Charge controls when players make big moves, preventing resource floods. Second, it's card-based identity. As cards, charge tokens can be drawn, junkyarded, or searched for. Adds a layer beyond simple counters.
Interesting. The resource isn't abstract, it's interactive.
Exactly. This feeds deck identity synergy. Factions and titans have unique charge mechanics, shaping deck play. A Voltara deck, rapid charge for quick strikes. A Constructus deck, slow charge for resilient structures. It's also balance-friendly, helps prevent early game snowballing from lucky draws without the charge.
And it ties to the lore.
Absolutely. Narrative coherence. A divine spark drawing from the weave, a forge pulse. It all fits when your resource feels tangible.
So we know why it's strong. Now, how do players get charge tokens? The main generation methods?
A few key ways. It starts pre-game with the divine draw. Reveal your top 7 cards. Find a charge token card. Reveal it. Place it in your charge pool. Reshuffle the rest. Your turn 0 resource jumpstart.
A pre-game boost? Good. During the game?
Most common, the charge phase. Each player gains 1 charge token from their deck into their charge pool during their charge phase, Phase 2. Automatic, unless an effect stops it. Your baseline income.
So even without specific charge cards, you power up.
Correct. Then, tool and structure effects. A weave capacitor might say, gain 1 charge if you control a Titan of a specific weave. These go directly to your charge pool.
And weave cards?
Yes, some elemental weave cards grant charge. Surge Pulse might give 2 charge on cast. Tasks 2. Harness the Spark could reward charge.
What about Titans? Do they generate charge?
They can. Certain Titan passives, Volterra, Ferrum, and Mechanior might generate charge on specific condition, like playing certain tools or achieving board states, and some junkyard or salvage mechanics for Printheon or Verdesia allow recovering charge tokens.
A mix of guaranteed income, bursts, and recursion. This brings us to craft power, CP. What does CP govern? The spending side of charge?
Perfectly put. Craft power, CP, is the cost for deploying cards or activating effects, like mana in Magic or energy in Pokémon. In T&T, CP is paid using charge tokens from your charge pool.
Typical CP costs?
Tools, 1 to 4 CP by impact or rarity. Structures, 2 to 5 CP, often with scaling effects. Weave and cast cards, 1 to 3 CP for immediate effects.
Titans themselves? CP cost to play?
No, Titans don't cost CP initially, but their abilities often do. Complex combos or echo flux sequences might need 6 to 9 CP, but that's usually spread across turns or involves cost cheating. If your charge pool maxes at 5 basic charge per turn, that caps single turn plays at 5 unless you've banked charge or have effects.
That 0 to 5 CP range for most single plays? Is it right? Strengths of keeping it low?
Several. Simplicity. Easy to track. No huge numbers. Aids accessibility, especially for new players. No 10 mana concepts early. Thematically, it fits. A real charge pool. A limited energy surge.
Strategically?
Creates strategic constraints. Forces decisions. High-cost tool now, or low-cost tool plus charge for a reactive weave. Defines deck identity. High-cost Forge Titan decks feel heavy. Low-cost spam decks feel fast, fragile.
Potential weaknesses or perturbation points with 0 to 5 CP?
Trade-offs exist. A hard ceiling limitation could restrict big combos unless designed for multiple turns or task-based cost cheating. Slight redundancy risk. If plays cluster at 2 to 3 CP because the cap is 5, it could limit cost diversity if not designed carefully.
And weave surges? Decks? Stringing effects?
Exactly. Echo or flux chains could feel hamstrung if their combo costs over 5 CP in one turn without management. Also, control lockouts. If an opponent denies charge, it could stall you hard if there's no mechanic for banking charge.
This is where design gets interesting. The what-ifs. What if we tweak the 0 to 5 token range per turn assumption?
Perturbation concepts. 1. Charge bank or surge overflow. What if players stored up to 2 unused charge for next turn? Introduces delayed burst play without breaking the 0 to 5 visible cap.
Rewarding patience or setup. Another idea?
2. An overcharge tool tag. Certain Titans or tools might ignore the 5 CP cap for one activation if demanding tasks are done. A Titan's Ascension might unlock a special 6 CP ability.
A milestone reward. Third concept?
CP modifier. Zones or conditions. A structure like Pulse Resistor, reducing tool CP cost in its zone by 1.07, allows 6 to 7 CP plays while spending 5 tokens.
So, 0 to 5 CP is a good base, thriving with flexibility to push boundaries.
Precisely. The 0 to 5 CP system is a forge flame, controllable but can flare for bigger projects with right fuel. Key is knowing when to burn steady, bank, or stoke it. Keeps early play tight, paces naturally, solid foundation for strategy, especially if faction deviations like Rustborn or Flux bend rules.
To recap for everyone, remember every Titan turn.
Draw, charge, building act, clash, and
6 steps.
infinite ways to forge victory. Good to touch base on that core loop.
Now comparisons. Pokémon Magic, How does T&T's charge per capita compare to Pokémon or Yu-Gi-Oh!'s resources?
Great comparison, highlighting T&T's uniqueness. Pokémon, Energy System. Attach energy cards to Pokémon 1 per turn. Fuels attacks. Magic, Mana System. Play land cards 1 per turn. Tap lands for mana to cast spells.
And Yu-Gi-Oh! Famously different. No traditional fuel card.
Exactly. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has an implicit resource system, built-in constraints. First, normal summon limit. 1 normal summon set per turn, barring effects. Acts like 1 energy.
And the tribute system?
Yes, level 5 to 6 monsters, 1 tribute. Level 7 plus 2 tributes. Cost is sacrificing monsters, not tokens lands. Card effects also have costs, life points, discarding, banishing. In Yu-Gi-Oh!, tempo and card advantage are resources.
And the strengths and weaknesses of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s approach?
Allows incredibly fast, explosive plays, huge combos. Recursion-heavy decks are powerful. Player decisions on sequencing are primary cost. Immense deck-building flexibility, no energy card slots.
Downsides?
No built-in pacing can lead to one-sided games, easy to brick, unplayable hands. Balancing is harder without a resource gate. Resource denial is rare, mostly hand disruption.
How does this highlight T&T's charge token cards?
In T&T, charge tokens as actual resources bring clear energy gates, creates resource economy tension, spend or save, allows tactical control, deny opponent charge, deny threats. Yu-Gi-Oh! Trades this for combo freedom/speed, but with higher variance and non-interactive potential.
T&T aims for a middle ground? More structured than Yu-Gi-Oh!? More dynamic than basic Pokémon?
Seems so. For T&T, visible, often card-based charge gives narrative weight. Channeling the weave and mechanical precision. Different philosophy. Balancing strategic depth and explosive potential.
Charge overflow or surge mechanics? Why T&T might use mechanics for more CP/charge than usable? Most games punish unspent resources.
Fantastic question. Magic's mana burn, retired, penalized unspent mana. Pokémon sometimes rewards over-attaching. T&T's design is tight, but what if overcharging became strategic, not waste?
How could that work, T&T style? Myth tech and balanced.
Modular overflow systems. First, overcharge threshold. Trigger. End turn with 4 plus unused charge. Activate an effect. Maybe surge activation. Spend 2 excess charge to play a weave tool for 1 CP less. Quick bonus.
Or more unpredictable?
Weave instability test. Excess charge. Roll die flip surge coin. Good result. Surge pulse. Draw card or gain extra charge next turn. Bad. Instability. Junkyard a random card. Lore. More power than the forge can hold. May break the lattice. Risk/reward.
Like that flavor. Passive overflow handling?
Charge overflow as token-based mechanic. Each charge beyond your turn's max converts to weave static or pulse counter. Counters could fuel overchannel effect, late-game tasks, or Titan passives like Voltara, John Ferrum.
And tied into card keywords.
Definitely. New keyword, Overcast X. Cards with Overcast gain bonuses if you spend more CP than base cost. Example, Static Blade, CP 2. Overcast, 4. If 4 CP spent, tool gets +1 attack, next weave echoes.
Overflow mechanics could diversify strategies. Tool titans boost efficiency. For instance, in the Voltara deck, Overcharge into burst chains. Or in a Rustborn deck, unstable CP for red mesh shockwave.
Exactly. Verdesia/Green 6, overflow as sustain tokens. Control decks sit on CP for zone defenses, seal effects, disrupts spend it or lose it. Excess charge fuels other systems. Overflow creates tempo tension, surge, or safe plays. Surge archetypes could emerge.
Transforms CP management beyond cost paying. Not just enough charge. What about extra charge?
Makes energy feel more alive, like Weave's breath. Flows, storable, can surge, even unstable if unchanneled.
Clarification. Divine Draw for initial charge. Charge phase for one each turn. But can you get charge token cards other times? Is passive gain separate from token cards?
Key distinction: 2 ways charge enters pool. Card-based charge gain, physical charge token cards, 1 via Divine Draw. Some card effects, Weaves, Tools, Titan passives, say, gain 1 charge token. Means take a charge token card, deck supply, to charge pool zone. Tangible Weave Spark.
One way. The other?
Built-in game mechanic, passive charge gain. The 1 charge automatically gained during charge phase. Critically, not by drawing a charge token card. Rule-based progression. Baseline CP economy for all keeps game moving.
Charge pool fuses both? Built-in 1 per turn gain plus actual charge token cards from effects/Divine Draw?
Precisely. In a turn, start with charge token card from Divine Draw. Charge phase, plus 1 free charge via rules. Play tool, gain another charge token card. 3 ways energy increased, mixing passive gain and card effects.
Dual system. Consistency from passive gain. Acceleration via cards combos.
Intentional hybrid, mirrors consistency of some, balances with dynamic boosts of others, preserving narrative flow. Rarely energy-starved, but scaling resources needs skill, like a solar energy system.
Solar energy system? Explain.
Weave, ultimate energy source, like vast solar grid cosmic field, always there. Passive charge gain, steady, ambient solar trickle, always available, cyclical, slow alone. Charge token cards from Divine Draw effects, solar flares peak bursts, sudden power surges, spike tempo.
Charge pool stores it all.
Exactly, your capacitor bank. Accumulates trickle and bursts, powers tools, casts Titan abilities. Feels like sustainable power, not exploitable fuel. Channeling renewable flow. Avoids mana flood screw or unregulated combos.
Titan's ability, charge, cost 5. Charge pool, 2 charge. Straightforward?
Absolutely. Need 3 more charge. Once pool total is 5+, passive gain cards effects, spend 5 to activate. Assuming correct phase on speed, instant reaction slow.
Robust system. Designers made charge more than a number. Resource, tempo tool, thematic cornerstone.
It all comes back to that core loop. Every match of tools and titans, tradecraft unfolds in 6 moves.
Draw,
Charge,
building,
act,
clash.
end. Simplicity for the novice, mastery for the titan.